Good morning. This is the sheep kidney dissection for North Dakota State's paramedic program. Here we're looking at the outside of this kidney. You can see the renal capsule, which is this transparent membrane made up of very thick, dense connective tissue. And that protects this kidney and also gives its shape. If we look a little further onto the side of the kidney here, you see this indentation section that is referred to as the hilus. This is what holds, this section here holds the renal artery, the renal vein, and the ureter. So all of that enters and exits into the kidney through this hilus section. The renal artery and the renal vein are difficult to see in this particular specimen, but with the renal artery and with the vein, this is where the blood is transported back and forth throughout the body. So if we remember again, the artery, that comes from the abdominal aorta, and that supplies the kidney with oxygenated blood. The renal vein, however, is the blood vessel that will carry filtered deoxygenated blood out into the inferior vena cava. We also have the ureter. Again, that's the tube that will connect the kidney to the urinary bladder. If we look a little further after we've dissected, we see our two sections here of the kidney. Again, this outer section, that thin transparent membrane, is the capsule. Again, helping to maintain and protect the kidney, protect its shape. Within that second layer here, underneath that capsule, is the cortex, and then you'll also see an intersection here, which is the medulla. Within the medulla, you'll notice these different pyramid sections. Those are also referred to as pyramids, and the apex of each of these pyramids is known as the papilla. Those papilla, which is difficult to see here, will ultimately lead into the minor calyx, which then leads into the major calyx, out through the renal pelvis, into the ureter, and then ultimately out into the urinary bladder. And so that is the flow of the urine production. That urine production occurs here in the renal lobes, which takes into account a part of that cortex, the medulla, the papilla, and the columns on each side. So those columns are what separates that medulla. And when we have multiple minor calyx, those form the major calyces, which are under here. And when we have a group of major calyces, those form the renal pelvis, which is this middle section here. And that about completes the entire kidney dissection. Thank you.